Let's go to a crucial player in all of this. He watches all those pennies, doesn't like it, and he is consistent with that theme. Some would even call him cheap. The professor who became a congressman, Dave Brat, a House Freedom Caucus member. Sir, very good to have you.
Hey, thank you, Neil. I did my PhD in economic growth, so you're right. We're going to need a lot of growth.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about this measure out of the Senate. You don't like it. A lot of your cohorts on the Freedom Caucus don't like it. Will that doom it?
I'm not sure if it'll doom it or if they got enough votes on the House side. And Pelosi was talking about a DACA deal yesterday. But, you know, Paul Ryan and the House, we made our case very clear. We did 12 approach bills. We did our budget in regular order. We came in 150 days ago, gave it to the Senate. And now the problem is it's all political, right? So we give it to the Senate. They jack it up $300 billion in 5 minutes without us knowing a thing about it. So that's all on the Senate side, mainly because we need 9 Democrat Senate votes at the last minute. We should have negotiated this with the American people a year ago and made it very clear how important the debt and deficit is. And if you don't make the case way out front, you back yourself into these corners, and that's where we are right now.
All right, let's say you're 40 members strong, and all of you, including yourselves, are vote against this. Obviously, Paul Ryan has to cobble together enough Democrats to counter what you're doing. Regardless of your views on this particular budget, does he, or are you hearing he has those votes?
It's way more than 40. I think it's 80 to 100 Republicans in the House, right? This goes against our playbook and the Republican conference plan the whole year. We're getting rolled at the last minute by the Senate. So you think
I'm sorry, I want to be clear. You think there are 80 no Republican votes in the House as things stand now? Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then he's going to need a lot. He's going to need a lot of Democrats.
Yeah, they're going to need a lot. And then this is a Democrat bill, right? When you got Senator Schumer saying he likes this thing, I mean, the American people.
So does Mitch McConnell.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't like it a lot. But that's a problem, too. And that tells you, right? The American people gave Republicans the House and the Senate and the White House to get this stuff under control and to restrain the swamp. Bernie even ran on that, and we're not doing it. So both sides are out of control. There's $21 trillion debt on the kids. We're $100 trillion unfunded liabilities. I heard you guys talking about reforming mandatory programs, and there's not the will to eat spinach there either. And so we're putting ourselves and the next generation in a real bind. And I heard your market commentary with the wage inflation. Interest rates are going to go up. We know that's a good, healthy sign. The economy is returning to normal. But interest costs are going to spike, too. And so the markets are taking that into account now.
You know, you have the tax that's coming, which I think even people who didn't like the idea of them are being pleasantly surprised at what companies are doing with theirs. And I'm just wondering whether you're afraid now, given this market craziness, that a lot of these other companies, looking at what's going on, are closing up their wallets and saying no to these bonuses, no and keeping their powder dry. That this, ironically, this volatility in the market is going to hurt this pay it forward phenomenon that have helped on the tax cut front.
Yeah, I'm still fairly optimistic. The fundamentals on this are pretty good. I just was with the Tax Foundation, a bunch of other people today. All we need to do to pay for the tax bill, by the way, right? Not the narrow tax bill, but to pay for the tax cut of $1.5 trillion, you just need to grow 0.75 more. Right, so if we grow at 2.75, we pay for it, and that's not just due to the tax cut; it's due to deregulation, animal spirits, a little bit of trimming here.
You're great at economics, which is always one of the reasons why I enjoy talking to you, because you get this relationship. But Goldman Sachs and other firms, sir, have indicated that the effect of this market craziness is going to offset whatever benefit you're getting with the tax cuts. Now they base that on a 20% correction from our highs, which of course would be a bear market. But I just wanted to throw this number at you. They say that would knock 1.1 percentage points off of GDP growth and completely wipe out the benefits of the tax cut. Now, this is the same firm, by the way, that didn't think tax cuts would be an elixir to the economy, so take it with a grain of salt. But what do you make of that, that ironically this market craziness is going to wipe out all the good you were hoping from tax cuts?
No, I don't buy that. Economic growth is a function of a bunch of fundamentals, right? Labor force growth, technology, human capital, and most importantly, capital formation. And so I don't know of any economic growth model that has the stock market in it. Of course, they're related, but that's not a driver of fundamental economic growth. And by the way, it's incumbent on theory to get it right, right? So the model, when people come on TV and say, hey, I got a model that says that, the reality in the real world is we're growing at 5% next quarter, right? That's the Atlanta Fed guesstimate.
The Atlanta Fed saying that.
Yeah, and we'll see. If that data point comes up, the models better explain the real world, not backwards.
Very, very good. All right, sir, thank you very much. Have a crazy day.
Thank you.
All right, Dave Brat.